Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, we're going to be talking about Lord Magnus, an OG legend here, back from the set that gave us legends. He is. They were kind of new at the whole thing and costing and whatnot, but he's a 4/3 for 6 mana. He's got first strike and he has an ability that don't matter a whole lot. But I would like to explain to you my line of thinking because I ordered a bunch of the legends, because I couldn't find them around locally. But and they come in and I saw Lord Magus, and here's my thought process. My thought process. I read him and I went, well, creatures with Planeswalker Forest Walk may be blocked. Okay. Well, now the first card that jumped in my mind was Urnham Djinn. Back in, I don't know, I think it was right after Chronicles came out. Urnham Djinn was one of the immediate all-stars out of that all reprint set. If you can imagine a modern Masters, that most of the cards sucked. So Chronicles was mass produced. Chronicles is probably responsible for the reserve list. Anyway, different story. So what we used to do with Urnham Djinn is we would throw out like Birds of Paradise, Llanowar Elves, mainly Birds of Paradise. You had 4 Birds of Paradise, and you would throw out the Urnham Djinn early, and then you would, the very next turn, because your downside is you're giving one of their creatures unblockable pretty much. That's what you're doing with. And so if you've got Forest, which you probably do, you can't block whatever creature. And if they've only got one, So what you would do is you would cast the Urnham Djinn early, and then you would Armageddon. Hence the name Armageddon. It was a real popular old deck, and that way you had no forest, and you could block them, and whatever. You still had the mana dorks, so why not? Now, that's where my mind went first, was Armageddon. All right, Armageddon. So then I started piecing together, okay, Armageddon. Well, we got to have some artifact mana, obviously, because we got to have something to play our stuff quick. And I can't actually put my fingers on a... and by the way, the Colony Gem is perfect for it because it bounces 2 lands and it taps to replace them. So you've got those lands in your hand now instead of being in the yard. We'll get to that in a minute. But the Queer Elf was made for this because it's an elf that's going to tap for both of your colors. So then I wanted to be able to recover from said Armageddon. So I have the barrage of the typical green ramp. And by the way, Far Wanderings is amazing post-Geddon because undoubtedly you're going to have Threshold. And you get to search for 3. Now, the Frontier Guide is just the magic. I mean, I'll spend 4 mana repeatedly to do this. The crop rotation is going to go in there to get you some of your things if you need your Rogue's Passage or your Lotus Veil. By the way, your Lotus Veil is... Remember this one, because we're coming back to it. Let's see. Lotus Veil. And Neither Reliquary. Best buds ever. Now, so we're blowing up lands, and if we're blowing up lands, I might as well sack all mine to gain some life before they go, right? So, because that's what we did. We used Armageddon and Balance at the time. We can't put Balance in this deck, because it's banned and all. But let's round out the rest of the green land search here. So, obviously, there's multiple lines of play. You play a game with this deck and never see the Geddon. And in that case, hey, that's fine. And you can just ramp out your stuff and whatever. Realms Uncharted is perfect card because it does put cards, 2 lands in your hand, 2 lands in the yard, to which lands in the yard work well for your knight. It works really well for your excavator. No, I don't have an extra crucible, or else it would totally be in here. We've got the safe right, because for 1 mana, this is not that bad. Now, let's see. What did I go to next? Oh, yeah. We're fetching land. So we're doing stuff with, like, Yavimaya Elder. Pretty cool. And, of course, the Burnished Heart. Now, y'all know me. We're playing a white, and I'm playing a Burnished Heart, so I've got to have the Sun Titan. I'm doing a couple different things with this deck, so I'm trying to get the Splendid Reclamation and the Creeping Renaissance can put all your lands back into play. The Vine Crasher here is amazing. He comes into play with 1/1 counters. So once he has the counters, then you can, put them all back in play. Sweet. I'm glad Lord Magnus does not have black in it, because then this would be probably just another Get Rog deck, and I'm glad it didn't go that way. Now, Plow Under is way not fun for somebody, but you kind of balance it out with the Rite of Flourishing. Maybe you see one, maybe you see both. I don't know. Now, with all that land shenanigans going around, my landfall creatures here, not the absolute best, but hey, it's what we got. Now, here recently, Devoted Druid has gotten a lot of attention in Modern. And I spent the weekend watching the Cincinnati Modern Open, and I think this is going to air like a couple of weeks from then. But anyway, Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedies is one of the hot new things in Modern right now. You play the Collected Company, which is not represented here, simply because I didn't feel like one-ofs in a 99-card deck. The Vizier of Remedies is unlimited green mana. So, and what you do with your unlimited green mana is you Walking Ballista, and you can just Ballista blow the table out of the water, as it were. Here again, do we need alternate win conditions, because this is a singleton format. The Ant Queen, infinite green mana with the Ant Queen is kind of sweet. Also, if you have, problems with the board, and there seems to be always that nasty blue player, your infinite green mana can, because you can do it on, everybody's turn, you can just lock everybody out of the game until you get what you need. It costs a little bit to do it, and it does create hard feelings. We have the defense grid that kind of also, but now we got to search up those creatures. So what we're doing is we're congregating at dawn, and I'm even going so far as to do the Weird Harvest. Let's see what we got here now. Got some staples, I guess. Acidic Slime is really good. It comes into play. It does its thing. Eternal Witness is going to get you the piece back that they killed, because invariably it's going to happen. Same for Reclaim. And if what they killed is a creature, you can get it back with Marshal's Anthem. You can actually recover from a board wipe pretty decent with Marshal's Anthem. I got Beast Within, because, it's balling as far as green removal goes. Dust to Dust. Now, I'm a huge Dust to Dust fan, simply because it does exile 2 artifacts. Now, yeah, the downside here is you got to have 2. So, got the Collective Blessing, because let's face it, it's in the colors. Got the Terastodon, because here again, this is 3 Beast Withins. Now, I'm running Grinning Totem mainly to get the card out of their deck more than anything else. If I can cast it, yay, that's fine. If not, sure, why not? Now, our last 5 cards here are solely centered around Enlisted Ultimatum. Now, everybody remembers Jun from back in the first Alara block when Jun was running rampant with all the Cascade, but Enlisted Ultimatum is pretty daggum neat. To clarify, what I call the Enlisted Ultimatum was when you cast the Enlisted Worm into the Bit Blast, into the Bloodbraid Elf, into the Lightning. It was a 6 mana, essentially, ultimatum that happened a lot for me. I think I was the only one to run the 4-color, but, you know, that was just because of the worm. But the Enlisted Worm, pretty cool. I like the ability, you know, who doesn't like free? I mean, we all like free. Yeah, you're kind of paying for it, but it is a 6 mana 5/5. So, I mean, it's not great, but it's not horrible. But it's a 6 mana 5/5 that has stapled on free mystery spell. Now, y'all seen the rest of the deck, but I got what we've grown accustomed to called the Gators from Planar Chaos. This way, you can keep recasting the worm over and over and over. Like, you cast the worm, you cascade into something, and you play your white main line, or you get lucky enough to cascade into the white main line, and that's sweet. So you bounce the worm back to your hand, and then you can recast the worm the next turn, and maybe you get lucky and you get like a Stonecloaker to where you do it again. Or the Dust Elemental. The Dust Elemental is amazing because it can return itself and the worm, and you've got this, you know, yeah, it's pretty mana intensive. That's not a problem because, hello, we're playing a bunch of lands and a bunch of way to get lands. So just cascading out, just cascade. You know, same thing with the Stormfront Riders is we're just putting that worm back in our hand. So there's several different lines of play to go with the deck. It's, I mean, you can go the Enlisted Worm Cascade route, or you can go the 2 mana guys with the infinite green mana route. You can Armageddon, they're bored. So I don't really like it. I did not actually envision it the way it is. I can probably actually maybe focus more on the Armageddon side, but with the cards that I have, that's what I did. And I kind of love the aspect of having several different lines of play, because that way, if one gets shut down, oh well, your deck's not dead. Anyway, that's what I've got for Lord Magnus. Proud to use one off of the Legends column. Me and the wife have compiled a Excel spreadsheet that's got all the possible generals from each set, and I can just add new columns when new sets come out. You know, highlight them green when I get them done, so I can see how far I am. I think to date there are 695 as of this moment. Possible. It's hard to look through the Gatherer and do that stuff because it's it shows you all of like the Kamigawa flip cards that are not always legendary creatures. You know, they're regular creatures that turn into legendaries, and that's not on EDH rules. Now, granted, there's like 4, 5, can't remember, of the banned ones. Anyway, Legends got a bunch, so I'm going to try to be knocking some off the old Legends list and the Kamigawa, because a lot of the sets have like 2 to 10. That's a pretty common range, but Legends and Kamigawa are well over 30 or 40 a piece. So that's what I've got for today. I do appreciate y'all watching. I'm just kind of rambling today. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.